find the determinant of this matrix. Before we do anything, let's first go get the answer first from that calculator. And since we're working with a 3 by 3 matrix, this is what we're going to have. We're going to place the value in. Okay, so we got this this matrix. So just to know what is the answer, it's actually 12. Okay, for the matrix. Now let's go and do our calculations, and then now compare them. We should get this answer. This is the right answer for this question. Now let's go solve our question. Okay, we can see that we only have 1 0. What can we do? We can either work out them like this or like that. Okay, depending on how we want to do it. Now I see that instead of doing it that way, what if we make another row 0? Okay, we can use echelon method. So we're going to see if we can use the echelon method. So we only gonna use it once, so we only need to make 1 as 0. So what we can do, let's turn this one into 0. Okay, if you want to turn it into 0, we can assume this is the row 1. This is row 1. We're going to work with row 1, and this is row 2. In what row 3? And that one is row 2. Okay, so now my concern is, in what way can I make it 0? So let me just write it so you can see. So you can need to find row 1, and then we're going to make this one this one 0, the second one. So we're going to make it 0. So in order to make it 0, there is one trick. We can use echelon method. Okay, you could use echelon method if you want, but we're going to use it once. What I do is I'm going to solve the echelon method there. Okay, and you can see if you take this one plus that one, you will get 0. Just look here. If I take this one plus this one, I will get 0. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, because what we do, we can only add row together or column together, not the other way around. So let's go with the row method. So what I will do is we're going to write this equation. So before we do that, to make it we need, so this is R1. We need to have R1 equal to 0. Okay, since we're working with R1, I'm going to put R1 there, and then how we can make R1 0. Since we're working with this row, I'm going to take R1 here. So I'm going to say R1 equal to 1, negative 1. This is R1. It's actually negative 1 on row 2, on column 2. Okay, plus, okay, row 3, because if you take this one plus that one, it's gonna be much easier. So this is the way that we can go about this one. So I'm gonna put R3. So what is R3? R3 is actually 1. So 1 plus 1 will give me 0. So that is what we're going to do and apply it to row 2. Okay, and what we'll do is we're going to apply to starting from column 1, column 2, and column 3. So let's start. For column 1, R1 will be equal to, what is R3, which is 2, plus what is R1, is actually 1. The answer will be 3. For column 2, R1 will be equal to negative 1. So R3 is actually 1 plus negative 1, which is what we have on R3, R1, so it will give us 0. And then for the third column, R1 will be equal to, which is what is R3? It's actually 6 plus R1, which is 3, and then the answer to this will be 9. So I'm going to replace them here. So A will be equal to 1, 1, 0, negative 1. Nothing else is going to change. They're going to remain like this. And then the only thing that we're going to change here, it will be the first one. So it will be 3, 0, 9. So this is what we're going to get. So now you can see we have 2 0. So we're only going to work out with only one determinant. So it will be like the determinant of this matrix will be written as 0 plus second 0 and then the last one. So now before you move to that, we need to find the sign. And remember, I showed you the sign for the second matrix. So the matrix of 3 by 3 matrix, the sign is positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So this is where we have 1, and this is where we do have a negative sign. So that's why we're going to have a negative here. Negative 1 times. So we're going to solve the matrix according to that point. So it will be something like this. So it will be 3, 1, 9, negative 1. Okay, if I go further down here, this will give me 0 plus 0, negative 1, which is we're not gonna find it here, so let me just leave it there. And then let's solve this matrix. Remember, there's always a negative sign here, so it will be something like this. This 2 and that, those 2. So it can be 3 times negative 1, negative 1 times 9. And the answer to this will be negative 1, negative 3, negative 9. So this will give us negative 1 times 9. It will give us negative 12. And then if I have to solve A will be equal to positive 12. And then as you can see, this is what we got from the matrix calculation, positive 12. So we have find the right answer without doing a long calculation. We just use simple calculations, and then we use echelon just to reduce the matrix, and then so then we can reduce the calculation that we're going to perform. And then if I zoom out, so you can see question A and question B. So the way that we have solved them in an easy way and a fast way, you can go about this one.